Eziyama village was a place of vibrant life and deep-rooted traditions. Every morning, the villagers busied themselves with their daily chores, men heading to the farmlands, women bustling in the marketplace, and children laughing as they ran through the dusty paths. Yet, amidst the warmth and harmony of Eziyama, there was one figure who stood apart, Adise. Adise was once like any other woman in the village, a young maiden with a radiant smile and kind eyes. But as the years passed, she became the subject of whispers, stares, and fear. Wherever she went, a swarm of flies followed her. They clung to her clothes, hovered around her face, and danced around her head. It didn't matter how clean she was or how far she traveled, the flies never left her side. The villagers soon began to keep their distance. Mothers warned their children not to play near Adise. Market vendors hesitated to sell her goods. Even the elders of the village, wise and respected, avoided speaking her name during their gatherings. Adise is cursed, they said. No one can live with such a cloud of flies unless the gods have forsaken her. Despite the isolation, Adise walked with her head high. Her dignity was her armor, but deep down, she felt the sting of loneliness. The whispers, the stares, and the accusations weighed heavily on her heart. Yet, she never spoke of her plight. She had her reasons she dared not share, for they were buried in the shadows of her past. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, a group of children dared each other to follow Adise. Curiosity got the better of them, and they tiptoed behind her as she made her way to the river. "She's going to the river again," whispered one child. "Do you think she talks to the spirits there?" Another chimed in, "Maybe the flies are messengers of the river god." Adise sensed their presence, but said nothing. As she reached the riverbank, she knelt and began to hum a haunting melody. The children watched from behind a tree, their eyes wide with fear and fascination. Suddenly, the flies began to swirl around her in an intricate pattern, almost as if they were dancing to her tune. The children gasped, and Adise turned sharply. "Who's there?" she demanded. Panicking, the children ran back to the village, leaving Adise alone with the secret she had guarded for so long. Word of the children's discovery spread like wildfire. By morning, the entire village buzzed with speculation. Was Adise a witch? Did she command the flies with her strange songs? Among the villagers was a traveler named Abina, who had arrived in Eziyama the day before. Tall and broad-shouldered, Abina was a man of logic, a merchant who traveled far and wide. He had little patience for superstitions and even less for gossip. "What nonsense," he said, laughing at the villagers' tales. "Flies are flies. They don't answer to humans." The villagers were unimpressed by his skepticism. "You don't understand," one elder said. "Adise is not like us. There's something unnatural about her." Intrigued by the mystery, Abina decided to meet Adise himself. That afternoon, as the village went about its business, he approached her by the river. She was washing her clothes, her back turned to him, with the ever-present swarm of flies hovering nearby. "Adise," he called gently. She turned, startled to see a stranger addressing her without fear. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice cautious but steady. "My name is Abina," he replied. "I've heard stories about you, and I wanted to see for myself." Adise frowned. "So, you've come to gawk like the others?" "No, Abina said firmly. I came because I don't believe the stories. I want to understand the truth. For the first time in years, someone spoke to Adiz without judgment. Her defenses wavered, and she allowed him to sit beside her. As they talked, she shared fragments of her life, how the flies had followed her since she was a child, how the villagers shunned her, and how she had learned to live with the loneliness. Abina listened intently. Have you ever wondered why they follow you? He asked. Adiz hesitated, her gaze fixed on the rippling water. I've tried not to, she admitted. Some questions are better left unanswered. But Abina was not one to leave questions unanswered. That night, he resolved to find the truth, no matter the cost. Under the cover of darkness, Abina sought out an elder named Neka, known for her knowledge of ancient lore. Elder Neka, he began, do you know why the flies follow Adiz? The old woman's eyes narrowed. That is not a question you should be asking, traveler, she warned. Some truths are dangerous. But Abina pressed on, and after much persuasion, Neka relented. Adiz's mother once defied the river god, she revealed. She made a pact to save her daughter's life, but the cost was great. The flies are not ordinary, they are bound to Adiz as a mark of the pact. They are her protectors and her curse. Abina was stunned. Why has no one told her this? The pact forbids it, Neka said. And if Adiz ever learns the full truth, it will unleash a power that even the gods fear. Determined to help Adiz, Abina returned to the river the next morning. He found her sitting alone, her reflection shimmering on the water. Adiz, he said softly, I know why the flies follow you. Her eyes widened in shock. What are you talking about? Abina hesitated, but decided to tell her everything. As he spoke, Adiz's emotions swirled, fear, anger, and sorrow. But as the truth sank in, something within her changed. The flies began to buzz louder, their movements frantic and chaotic. Suddenly, the river's surface erupted, and a towering figure emerged, a being of water and light. The river god. You have broken the pact, the god thundered. Now she must choose, embrace her power or face the wrath of the gods. Adiz stood frozen, the weight of her destiny pressing down on her. Abina stepped forward, his hand on her shoulder. You are not alone, he said. With a deep breath, Adiz faced the river god. I choose to embrace my power, she declared. The flies swarmed around her, their buzzing forming a deafening crescendo. As they enveloped her, Adiz felt a surge of strength and clarity. The curse was now her gift, and the fear of the villagers no longer mattered. She had become something more, something powerful, something free. This story reminds us not to judge others based on what we do not understand. True strength lies in embracing who we are, even when the world fears or misunderstands us. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating tales. Let us know your thoughts and what you think Adiz's journey teaches us. See you in the next story.